So tonight for dinner we are going to be making sweet potatoes, baked chicken, and asparagus. This is one of my favorite meals to make, especially with the quarantine going on. It was just easy to find ingredients for this one. So I did want to show you guys my spice rack. I do have the Kamenstein revolving spice rack. I will go ahead and link the description below. I really love this spice rack. It is got all the spices that I ever need, and it's also super cute on your counter as well. So first things first, I'm going to prep my sweet potatoes. I'm just going to cut them into like miniature sweet potato fries. I just find this to be the easiest way to bake the sweet potatoes because it doesn't take quite as long as baking a whole sweet potato, and my husband just really likes sweet potato fries as well. So next I'm just going to prepare the asparagus. I like to go ahead and chop about 1 inch to 1.5 inches off the bottom, just because I don't really like the bottom of the asparagus, and it also helps it fit in the pan that I use for it a little bit better. So the pan that I'm using is actually like for a loaf of like bread or meatloaf, but I really like to use this pan for my asparagus because it fits perfectly in the pan, as you can see. And also when I put my coconut oil on top, it's just going to be able to really sink into the asparagus and really cook that in. I usually use about like 4 or 5 tablespoons, I would say, of coconut oil. And then also I top mine with the roasted garlic powder. This I just get from like Publix or any grocery store. So now that our asparagus is prepped and ready, we will finish prepping the sweet potato fries. So we're just going to kind of dump them onto this pan here, and then we want to just even them out just so that they'll get a very even cook to them and all be kind of the same temperature. So now that we've got them all evened out, we're going to go ahead and do our seasoning. So first we're going to start off with some olive oil. We're just going to go ahead and drizzle that olive oil on top. I used about 3 tablespoons to drizzle the oil on top of these sweet potatoes, and this is a total of 2 sweet potatoes. The next thing I'm going to be using is going to be our Morton's sea salt. I really like the sea salt for the potatoes, for the sweet potato fries, just because it gives it that added flavor to it. And so we're just going to sprinkle that all over the top of the sweet potato fries. And then next we're going to go ahead and go in with some ground cinnamon and just sprinkle that over the top as well. That also adds a nice flavor to the sweet potato fries. Alright, and now that our sweet potato fries and asparagus are all prepped and ready, we're going to have that oven on 375. We're just going to go ahead and put the sweet potato fries and the asparagus in the oven. We are going to go ahead and do that first just because it needs to cook a little bit longer than the chicken. Alright, so now that that's all in the oven, we can go ahead and start prepping our chicken breasts. I'm just using 2 chicken breasts tonight for me and my husband. So first things first, we are going to go ahead and sprinkle some salt and pepper over the top here of both of our chicken breasts. Next, we're going to go ahead and go in with the thyme and rosemary on each of those. I love cooking the chicken breast with thyme and rosemary. It really gives it that classic flavor. Okay, so for our final step on the chicken, we are going to go ahead and sprinkle some olive oil over the top of those. And then we are just going to go ahead and flip those over, and we will do the same thing on the other side. Alright, now that our chicken is ready, we were going to go ahead and put that in the oven with the rest of our veggies. And we are going to go ahead and leave that in the oven for about 25 minutes. So while that's cooking, we're just going to go ahead and clean up a little bit. We are going to use the Method Daily Granite Cleaner. Yes, I do use this on my stovetop just to kind of wipe it down, just to get all the extra crumbs and things like that off. This is my favorite part about cooking everything in the oven, is that I can put it in the oven and then voila, just clean off the stove, clean off the counter, and then by the time dinner is ready, everything is clean again and everything is done. Okay, so it's been about 25 minutes. We went ahead and took that chicken out of the oven. I did use my chicken thermometer just to make sure that it is at least 165 degrees, just because chicken scares me a little bit and I don't want to have my chicken be undercooked. Alright, now that we know our chicken is good and cooked, we can go ahead and take the rest of our veggies out of the oven as well. Alright, now that everything is done, we are ready for the best part here, and we're just going to go ahead and make our plate. I did actually melt some cheese over the top of the chicken just to give it a little extra flavor. So now we'll just put the sweet potato fries and the asparagus right here on the plate, and we will have our wonderful dinner. And voila, there you have it. A nice healthy dinner for two. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will go ahead and see you in the next one.